looking at the real deal now. Gonna kick this sorry ass out on the street. What you got? You used to think you owned the street. We'll pack this bag to you.
How's it going, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Lowdown Show right here on No Holds Barred Wrestling Podcast, your Canadian wrestling podcast that talks about WWE and NXT and no holds barred on anything we say. Pun intended. You can follow the podcast on Twitter at No Holds Barred WP. You can follow myself at Real Kyle Masters, and you can follow my co-host at Corporate Cappy on Twitter as well. You can follow us on Instagram at No Holds Barred WP. You can also listen to us on the go on iTunes, Spreaker, and Stitcher. Spreaker is a glorious podcast app that is available for all Android and Apple devices. It allows you to chat with us live on the air, and it's free to make an account. So go and make an account. Follow us, and you'll be able to listen to all previous episodes of the podcast. And like I said before, you can chat with us live on the air right here on the podcast. If you want to watch any video versions of this podcast, youtube.com/NHBWR is where you can find that. You can hit that subscribe button, that bell icon for all upload updates, and see all 2K content unboxings, and all video versions of podcasts are all located on there. I am your host, the self-proclaimed greatest host, Kyle Masters, and every week on the Lowdown Show, I am joined by my co-host. He is the blissful boss, Mr. Corporate himself, Corporate Cappy. I guess I have to do that again. The blissful boss, Mr. Corporate himself, Corporate Cappy.
I'm here. My mic was off. I want to now be referred to as the next generation of great, because I'm the next generation of great. Let's go. Actually, don't call me that.
You didn't say that. Tell me you didn't just say that.
My boy Jason Jordan, man. The guy should have been... Justice for Jason Jordan. Why was he not the 30th entrant in the Royal Rumble this weekend?
Justice for Jordan. Right.
Look at that. JJJ. Why was he not the 30th entrant in the Royal Rumble? The crowd would have went ballistic.
Ballistically, I think they would have shut on it more. I mean, at this point, I can almost agree with you because of what we got at number 30. We had Dolph Ziggler, who literally had no point of being number 30 because he lasted, like, what, a minute 50?
And then he didn't even return on SmackDown this week.
Isn't number 30 supposed to be, like, you know, the number that's, you know, that's supposed to make some sort of impact, or at least in the final two? But no, we get Dolph Ziggler coming in at 30 and does absolutely fuck all. Makes sense, right? Yep. Why even have a number 30 anymore? Well, you might as well just go to a stupid number like 31, because if number 30 doesn't matter, why should I give a shit about number 30? Everyone gets amped up to see who number 30 is. They did it right in the women's one this week. They had the surprise Trish Stratus in number 30. That was a good idea, but then they have Dolph Ziggler, who like half the crowd was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that guy. And then he literally lasted like a minute 50. Right.
Yep. That's my thoughts on it.
Anyways, guys, welcome to the Launch Show. If you don't know, this is where we review NXT every single week right here on the podcast. We used to do Raw and SmackDown, but for obvious reasons, we do not. But we will give credit to the main roster this week because Royal Rumble was actually worth watching, and we didn't go to sleep wanting to rip our eyes out of their sockets for once, which is a plus for a main roster pay-per-view.
For once.
But we stick to NXT because it is officially the A brand in our minds. We know it will be to you if you don't agree with us out there, but to those who agree with you, we know we are NXT. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Lowdown Show. We review NXT. NXT this week was the aftermath, they labeled it, of TakeOver Philadelphia, which was a fantastic takeover, as always. They always are unreal. And we had a great ending to that pay-per-view this week, which we'll get a little bit into now. We had some time to kind of drink it in a little bit, to pun Chris Jericho here. And it's still heartbreaking knowing that Johnny Gargano didn't win there, even though it was literally like the perfect situation for Johnny Gargano to win the NXT title. But it makes sense for the direction they're going into with Tommaso Ciampa, the Psycho Killer, and then also it gives Almas an opportunity, a variety of opportunities to see who he's going to face. It looks like it probably is going to be Aleister Black, which is great. I love to see those two go at it in a match and see what a feud with them two can bring. Quickly into the chat, we have Cupid Girl 125 joining in. Queen Tricks has arrived. Crazy Tricks to be exact for tonight. Michael Chow TV, the Royal Rumble's number 31 entry is here. Currently eating, so listening in, boys. Thank you, Michael Chow, for listening in and lending us your ears for this podcast. We had Glorious Greg, our Twitter fan of the year. The glorious one is here, wearing a Rusev Day t-shirt. So Glorious Greg hopping on the Rusev Day train and is wearing his Rusev Day t-shirt. I hope you are going to join the calendar soon and getting one of those.
Rusev Day calendar?
Those things are hilarious. And we also got Michael Chow saying Ziggler didn't even have a good showing. Looked like he was about to eliminate Cena. Should have had done that for a good push. They probably should have done that. Done something, at least something. Because right now, like, you look back at it, Ziggler was literally completely useless. You should have been at, like, number 12 or something. Because number 30 was, like, the most useless spot for him. Why do not get notifications? I don't know, Tiff. YouTube, you should for whenever I upload. For this, I don't know what goes on with the notifications.
Because she's probably subscribed to No Holds Buried and not No Holds Barred.
Oh, that's it. Yes, right, Tiff. You have to unsubscribe from No Holds Barred. Those guys are a bunch of assholes. You don't want to follow them. You want to follow us. No Holds Barred, not buried. Barred. Right, see, I got it in the background here, the poster, No Holds Barred. As you can see in the background, guys, I've changed the background. I've gotten rid of the Germany flag, put the Canada flag up there because we are a Canadian podcast. Got to keep it Canadian. I got the Toronto for WrestleMania sign, our glorious sign we made up there that we brought to a lot of events. You can't see it on the back of it. It has a list of all the events that we've actually brought that sign to, and we're going to continue that trend with that sign. We literally brought it to everywhere since like 2014. Then we got the obviously the generic WWE picture back there. I've added the American Alpha towel up there, the Ready, Willing, and Gable towel. So just redesigning the background a little bit here for the podcast. If on the video version,
we don't set the Barred. We are
the bar.
We
the
are
podcast
No
bar.
Holds Barred.
We are No Holds Barred.
That's our new slogan. We don't set the bar. We are No Holds Barred.
Put that on a t-shirt for Christ's sakes. My God.
Speaking of that, They won the tag team titles back again this week since we need to see that.
I told you. I knew it was going to happen. I knew they were going to start this stupid Jason Jordan Seth Rollins. For whatever reason that people think that's going to be a good feud, you're heavily mistaken because Jason Jordan and Seth Rollins, yeah, they might have a good match, but the feud is going to be absolutely fucking cringe. Just saying. I unfollowed and refollowed. Sometimes I get notifications after you guys are off. So weird. Yeah, that is weird. I don't know. I'll look into it, Tiff, but I couldn't tell you what the hell's going on there. But, the bar retaining. It looks like we're going to the Seth Rollins and Jason Jordan storyline. Get Dean Ambrose probably going to be added if he's healthy enough by WrestleMania. We don't know anything about Dean Ambrose. Literally nothing has been leaked about him, so maybe they're keeping it hush-hush. As what I was saying, Royal Rumble, actually, we went to bed happy for once. I mean, like, we did a whole review of it till 3 in the morning. So it was a good pay-per-view when we did a review about it. I mean, we could have had a ranted if it was bad, we could have ranted till 3 a.m., but to me, if I'm ranting, I don't want to stay up till 3 a.m. ranting about a pay-per-view. If it's good, I kind of want to keep talking about it.
It was finally a good start to a Road to WrestleMania build.
Yeah, for once. Dean Ambrose.
Sure.
Dean Anyways, let's talk about NXT. So this was the Fallout show. And one thing we want to point out, we saw it on the show tonight, and you probably did see it out there. It was weird whenever they zoomed in on Ronaldo and Percy Watson, because they'd be talking about a match that's going to happen that night, because this is supposed to be like before, or no, this is supposed to be after, but literally it's taped before it happens, so it's weird how he has to talk about the Extreme Rules match that just happened, yet he hasn't commentated it yet. So it was I noticed that a little bit in a couple moments on NXT tonight, which I'm like, oh, they could do it a little bit, you know what I mean? How much that would suck for him to sit there and know the result, but then he still has to commentate the match when it comes up. You know what I mean? It just, to me, is I don't know.
I don't know if did he really give away any results though, or was he just talking about the matches?
No, he's just talking about it. He basically didn't even really talk about it. He just kind of it's almost like a preview, almost, but he didn't really say any of the result for the match. Anything they talked about, they didn't say the result, so they kind of did a good job there. One thing I think they should have done, and this is a little flaw, they mentioned that Percy Watson was still under the weather, and they hope to have him back next week. Yet, technically, this is supposed to act like it's taped today. Meanwhile, it was taped last week. Nigel McGuinness came back yesterday, and they were saying like they hope to have him back next week. And it was just like maybe they should just kept him off 205 Live to make it believable a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
To me, it was just like it's kind of like a laziness flaw. Maybe they shouldn't have done that. I don't know. To me, it's just. Oh, Tiff actually watched NXT today. Good for you, Tiff. It is a great show. It's the A show. You should be watching every single week. It's only an hour of television. That's it. It's all. And it beats out Monday Night Raw, which is 3 hours long, which is way too fucking long. Or it beats out SmackDown, which is 2 hours long, but it feels like it's actually only a half hour long because of all the 350 commercials they have a night on SmackDown. So, it's the A show. But we'll get into NXT tonight. Let's, without further ado, enough rambling on. NXT was great. Yeah. Oh, that's not my notes.
Tonight was basically the pre-show of TakeOver. So, I mean,
with being the aftermath in a way, like with off camera, it was the aftermath. On camera, it was the pre-show. So these NXTs are weird.
And you can always tell when something's taped because their voice sounds different. Like it's in like a recording studio when they're talking about they're doing a promo about a match coming up or something. You can always tell. But it's not them talking at the commentary table.
If you have a good ear out there, you can tell. That's for sure. But tonight's January 31st episode was actually decent enough. They had actually 3 matches. I thought they would only have 1 or 2 and they'd be all showcased, but it was showcased, but we actually had 3 matches. We started off with Nikki Cross and Lacey Evans. Nikki basically wanted her revenge for what Evans said in her promo, if you remember a couple weeks ago when she kind of picked apart the women's locker room and she made mention of Nikki Cross. So this is a way of Nikki Cross to get back at Evans for this. I don't know if there's going to be more women going after Evans after this as well, or if this feud is going to continue. If it does, I don't know what kind of start of the feud this was, because literally it was probably the worst start I've ever seen for a feud, so I'm hoping it's not. Evans did embrace her heelness for her entrance. During her entrance, you can see her playing to the crowd, doing kind of the Baron Corbin, yeah, fuck you kind of thing, where she does her hand thing. So I love it that she's actually embracing her heelness now into her entrance. There's a very fired up back and forth start between these two girls, both going very viciously at each other. And then all of a sudden, Nikki Cross.
Nikki Cross. You're thinking about Nikki Bella.
Yeah, they're both spelt the same. Both Nikki's, their names, the first names are spelt the same. Nikki gets the upper hand here and then nails her finisher, that swinging neck breaker, for the win. And it was a very, very quick match. Very odd to have been very, very quick. Not sure why they only went very quick for this match. Just like I said, if this was the start of a feud, to have a quick 5-minute match and then do nothing after was I don't know what to make of it, right? I don't know if I don't know if I agree with them feuding with each other. I don't know if I can get behind it. You have to do something for me. You have to sell me on this one for sure. I missed that theme music from Nikki. She's so damn crazy. Also, you missed her entrance. Her entrance theme is awesome. The screaming and stuff. It's great. I love it. Tiffany Chai, you can look, but you can't touch. Yeah. Only sure. John Cena can touch. But yeah, we'll see what happens with the women's division with Nikki Cross and Lacey Evans if this goes forward with each other. We'll have to see. After this, we had a showcase tag team title match at TakeOver Philly. Oh, sorry. They showcased the tag team title match TakeOver Philly. My bad. I wrote this in my notes weird. Which actually opened the show, and it showed... I still think Street Profits should have won that number 1 contenders match. But AOP ended up losing in the end, too, so I'm like, we should have had Street Profits, but hopefully the Street Profits are going to get back on the stepping ladder, because now the tag team division is starting to blow up, so we'll see what happens, man. I feel bad for our boys Street Profits that never got their shot yet, but they showcased the tag team match and how Undisputed Era took advantage of that finisher that's killed a bunch of tag teams over this last year and a half with AOP, and then basically Hurricane Ronning one of the AOP brothers into the other, and that's how Kyle O'Reilly was able to get the pin. After this, they showcased the women's title match at TakeOver and how brutal it was with Shayna Baszler and that joint manipulation with stomping on Ember Moon's arm, just like she did to Dakota Kai. After they actually showed a backstage exclusive interview that they had with Baszler after that match, and all Baszler said was, "Who do you think actually won this match? How about you go down over there into the medical center and you interview Ember Moon and see who actually won this match." So her cockiness coming out here and basically saying like, look at me, I'm still standing yet this girl's like arms about to fall off. Who do you actually think won this match? So I like that. It shows a lot more cocky and badassness out of Shayna Baszler. And then they to boost up Ember Moon right after, they showcased what she did in the Royal Rumble match, being an entrant in the Women's Royal Rumble, and still doing it with that freaking, like, her arm was like bandaged up from like the shoulder all the way down to her wrist, and showing that she is one of like it's a good idea to showcase how she is a proven champion. I love what they did with Almas and Ember Moon in the Royal Rumble. They made sure that both these champions had a showcase and made them look more legitimate and get more behind them. You know what I mean? You got to do this in order for them to be like good, credible champions and nothing that did not look like flukes, basically. You know what I mean?
Well, and they had Adam Cole in there too, and he was all bandaged up.
Yeah, they did that later on in the night here on NXT. But they made a highly like point of pointing out that they're champions. I think the main point was that they wanted to get their champions noticed more.
I like that though. Yeah. They need to showcase them to people who don't usually watch NXT.
Mm-hmm. Which is weird. You're weird thinking about it. Almost looked okay, but like Ember Moon's like damaged. You think you want her like 100% to showcase her on the main roster, but it's almost like Vince did it on purpose.
Yep, and the people that eliminated the NXT people were like, you know.
Yep, WWE's
Vince's people,
homegrown people. Yeah, the Ely brothers.
We haven't seen them in a while. Holy hell.
Yeah, we'll get to them when we talk about the returning TM61, Michael Chow. But first, we had a quick showcase of the Extreme Rules match, and then they showed Undisputed Era backstage after Adam Cole's match, basically going like freaking out about what happened, and Adam Cole calming down Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish and saying Sanity will pay for this. And then they showed the poster of Undisputed Era facing Sanity for the NXT title next week, so I'm thinking Adam Cole probably gets involved in this, even though he does have a match with Killian Dane announced for next week as well. So Adam Cole promising that Sanity will pay for this, so we'll see what happens. It looks like Undisputed Era and Sanity are going to continue their feud going into the next couple of weeks here. We'll see what comes out of that. I like that. I love Sanity and Undisputed Era. They're basically without AOP, they're the top teams in NXT right now. So for them to go at each other in a very, very intense feud, I'm all for that. I just hope it doesn't last long.
Shot. I thought they were going to get the title shot at TakeOver, but I mean, I guess it's okay that they left it for now to build for something now, because I think we all agree that AOP's out of it now.
Yeah.
Thank God.
I'm thinking that Sanity and Undisputed Era won't feud for too long. Like, this is not going to last until TakeOver. This is only going to be a short bit, and then we're going to get the next number one contenders. I think this is just to finally like finish off this feud that's been stemming from War Games. I think this is just finally just to clear all the dust out. So I think that's probably what we're going to get the conclusion of it probably next week. So we'll see what happens, because we have to remember Killian Dane was called out by other people. I don't think he's going to continue feuding with Adam Cole, right? So
yeah, we don't know what's going on with that yet.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a huge clusterfuck, because like we got Roderick Strong going against Tyler Bate while also being included in that 205 Live tournament, but also calling out Lars Sullivan. It's like, what is going on?
So much, man. They got to calm down.
And then you got Tyler Bate in the Cruiserweight Classic tournament, and then he was in this match. I'm like,
yeah, okay,
like there's like too many storylines going on right now with the same people.
Yeah. They gotta just kind of like chill out a little bit. Just hold your horses.
It was like Roman and Friends on Raw for a while. Where they had like
Roman and Friends, yeah.
Where they had like 4 feuds going on at once. It was like, all right, let's take it easy here.
Mm-hmm. So let's just pump the brakes a little bit. You know what I mean? Just everyone calm down. Just chill out.
It's not Roman and Friends.
Let's not overwork Roderick Strong now. He just got here.
Oh, well. If it was Roman and Friends, I could understand. They want him in everything. Put him in the women's feud, too.
Roman and Friends, yeah. After this, we had a Velveteen Dream and Ono showcase. Quickly led to Velveteen Dream's backstage interview after the match, saying, "In the end, you know what the NXT Universe wants, or it knows now." And then he's like, "Read my trunks," and he lifted his trunks up and said, "Dream over," and he's like, "That's all," and he walked away.
Okay, thanks for coming out, Patrick.
I was hoping I hope we were getting another start to Velveteen's next feud, but we'll have to see. A lot of people are on Twitter, I read, that are calling for EC3 and Velveteen Dream to be the next feud. I think that could be a good one, depending on who's the babyface and who's the heel there. Or maybe it could be even King Ricochet. I'd love to see a Ricochet and Velveteen Dream. Can you imagine those two in a match?
Yeah, I bet you would.
Holy moly, man. That would freaking destroy. That would tear down the building. Those two, man. So we'll see what happens.
I don't know
What
about
are you about, man? You can't about these two guys who are like giftedly athletic and putting them both in a match. They basically almost have the same style.
They don't have the charisma of Jason Jordan, though.
Yeah, well, there we go. Conversation over. You can already see that. So we talking about the Ely brothers earlier, and who haven't been on like TV since like October-ish. I think they faced it was the Street Profits last time they were on TV.
Although I remember Ricky Morton from Rock and Roll Express say that he was really impressed by these guys when he went down to the Performance Center. So I guess it was only a matter of time before they came up.
Well, I feel bad for them because now that's twice I've only seen them in NXT, and that's twice I've seen them lose. That sucks. I hope they get a better showing if they're. They held their own. I haven't seen anything out of them yet. Hopefully, we get to see something out of them because I'm curious. I want this tag team division to flourish. So hopefully, we get something more.
I think they got potential. Like how they're just two brothers that look alike. They're big.
The Usher brothers. Yes,
loves that. Yes, the Usher brothers.
They look literally like Usher in their entrance. It's even Cappy said that they should come out to "Yeah" by Usher. I wouldn't mind that. I'd actually probably get behind that.
They literally look like they're a mix between Usher and the Street Profits. It's like, what are you guys trying to be here? Yeah, but I guess it was their first like big match on just to see what they can do and if they can move forward with them. But I think they got a lot of potential, obviously, because of the whole twin magic bullshit that we saw tonight. Yeah. But I think these two have really good potential as far as a tag team in NXT.
Now I hope they sway towards that more and not towards something like the Street Profits. I don't want to see a double of this. Street Profits
I don't think they're baby. I don't think the Ely brothers are baby face material, to be honest.
They'd be like that heel team.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they faced the returning TM61, who are finally back after 8 months of absence due to injury. We've had their showcases over the last couple of weeks have been freaking really excellent. It gets you more invested in TM61, so I was pumped for this. They faced off against the Ely brothers. This was an unreal comeback match. They had a very, very good showing here, and they look like they're back. They looked better than ever, TM61, especially Shane Thorne, man. Shane Thorne looked the most dominant out of this match, man.
They were throwing these giant guys. Like the Ely brothers are big dudes, and they were like throwing them around.
Man, they look very good. TM61's for real, and I'm glad they did this at TakeOver so that at least they got the crowd behind them, more of a crowd behind them, and they were so behind TM61. Ended off the match with the Thunder Valley, they call it, that tag team finisher, and TM61 pick up the victory, and they're back. Boys are back. The runner-up of the Tag Team Classic, they made mention. A lot of people forgot about that. They got interviewed backstage saying that they're different now and that they are mighty, and the mighty don't fall. Ooh. Interesting promo back there, so we'll see what's going on with TM61 in the future.
Great start for them, though, for sure.
I'm hoping it leads to a title match. These guys deserve it, man. At least, or a tournament. Maybe we have another tag team tournament. Something. Quickly in the chat, Michael Chow. Velveteen has the charisma, and he could be Kurt Angle's long-lost son, too. Get the DNA tests.
I mean, if we're talking about charisma levels from like 1 to 10,
here we go.
10 has to be like Jason Jordan. That's like the bar for like charisma. So
I thought you were gonna say someone else's name.
Oh, I mean, Jinder's like a close 9.
There you go. A close 9. Oof. I think it's a demotion.
And then you got somebody like Cedric Alexander, who's at the 1 of 10 scale.
We're gonna move on here. We had they labeled it as an exclusive look at the NXT title match and what happened after with Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa.
It hadn't even fucking happened yet.
Yeah. This was very well done, though. They did a very, very good showcase of highlighting that NXT title match. Probably one of the craziest and most unreal matches of the last century that I've ever seen. Literally play with your heartstrings.
Jump and fall out of your seat more times in a match than that match.
I was so invested into this match, and it's because they told the story so well. Like when you tell the story so well during the match, it got me glued to the screen. Like it was insane.
And then the heartbreak at the end, but you're like, it makes sense. But God, I wish it would have happened.
My heart literally broke when he nailed that top rope. What's he fucking call it? That DDT, freaking with the arm behind. I always forget what it's called. When he hit it and he got the 3, literally my heart broke in half, and I'm like, oh, but it kind of makes sense because Ciampa and Gargano don't need a title. I was just so heartbroken, and it's just such an epic match. It told such a great story, and then after they showed this, they actually showed the exclusive interview, or a bunch of interviews trying to interview Tommaso Ciampa walking backstage after he attacked Johnny Gargano, and he didn't just say a word. He just had a blank stare on his face and just walked right through the reporters and then out of the arena. So that was interesting. And the Psycho Killer, acting like a Psycho Killer, which is great, playing his character very well. They also showed Almas getting a Royal Rumble showcase right after this, and then a backstage after the Rumble with Vega and Almas. Basically, Selena Vega saying this is the new Andrade, and this is only the beginning.
And if you guys looked, Zelina Vega's attire from Saturday was paying homage to Lita when she used to manage. Oh my God, what the hell was that guy's name? The guy she managed before Matt Hardy. I can't remember his goddamn name. Either way, it was her gear was paid homage to Lita, so I thought that was cool.
That's good. Oh my God, Michael Chow. He put TM61, the mighty don't fall next week. TM61 loses to Authors of Pain. I'd lose. This is not the main roster. You can't say this is WWE Logic. This is NXT.
Of Pain, bury people.
Yeah, this is NXT. It's not going to happen. I have way more faith in NXT than something. If this is the main roster, I would agree with you 100%. 100% that would happen. I'd be expecting it before it even happened. But I'm thinking that TM61 is going to get more of a showing here. But we got to remember, we're not going to see him every week. NXT does the right thing and tries to showcase everybody in their roster. So some weeks we're not going to see them, some weeks we're going to see them. So I love how they do that. Cupid Girl 125 says or puts, I loved seeing Candice attack Selena. Yep, that was amazing. Just seeing her go ham on her ass.
Okay, then.
It was awesome. I loved when Candice Michelle attacked Selena Vega. That was awesome. And again, we said it last time on the review and the predictions. Sonny, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I don't know what paint you're huffing, but Candice LeRae, wow. Fantastic. She looked fantastic. I don't know what she thinks, thinking Candice LeRae can't survive on the main roster with her looks. Huff and paint. Sonny, you're not looking the greatest either these days, so I'd keep it down, honey, if I were you. Just saying. We had moved on here. We had a showing of the signings of the indie talent from NXT. So Ricochet, War Machine, and EC3. So it's going to be interesting to see how they get played into NXT coming up and when they make their debuts. I'm sure they're going to wait until probably a slow week, and then that'll be like the highlighted week of their debut. Or maybe one of them makes a surprise attack or a surprise entrance in the match or something. We'll have to see. Then they showed Adam Cole's participation in the Rumble, which is great. He was all bandaged up. Like they're showcasing how this guy literally went from an Extreme Rules match to be in the Rumble. So it shows you how high NXT and I guess maybe the main roster is on Adam Cole. So that's really good that they had a showing with that. And then they also announced that Adam Cole will be facing Killian Dane next week on NXT.
Should be an interesting match because you have the other two members of each faction going at it for the tag titles, so I guess it makes sense to have Adam Cole go against Killian Dane.
I think it'll be a good match. I don't put past that Cole and Dane are going to have a terrible match. I think that match is going to be all right. We're just going to see if Adam Cole is going to be still nursing the injury or not, because usually some wrestlers kind of play that in the storyline.
I guess so, and he was pretty bandaged up at the Rumble. I really think they do need a woman in Undisputed Era, especially if they're going to continue to feud with Sanity. Like, Nikki Cross is just kind of floating around there. I feel like they should have added a woman to the group.
Tainara Conti, I mean, we haven't seen her since they did that little thing with her. She would have been perfect, man. She's got the background with the Brazilian black belt.
We know who the perfect one is, and they're going to get baked, whoever they are.
You think they're not going to sign Britt Baker?
No, I'm just saying that would be the perfect person to go there since she is dating Adam Cole.
Yeah.
But, no, they don't want to get baked, I guess. So,
I guess, yeah.
But I just feel like Nikki Cross is just kind of floating around right now with the feud going on. I feel like she's kind of being underused.
And I only say Tainara Conti, too, because she had that little thing with Nikki Cross for a short bit, too. So that's why I say it only makes sense.
Well, they kind of kicked her to the curb after that one match.
I don't understand what's going on there. They kicked a lot of Mae Young Classic people. Like, we saw Dakota Kai the other week, and that was the first time we seen her since the Mae Young Classic. I thought we were under the impression that after the Mae Young Classic, we were going to see a lot of these girls in the division, but since then, it's been literally bits and pieces. They've only focused on Baszler and Zayn. I mean, I can't blame them, but if you're going to bring in these other women, you kind of have to focus on them too, right?
I don't think a lot of them got signed, though. That was the thing.
Yeah. We'll have to see what happens. They need to add some women soon, because if they're going to call it Peyton Royce and Billie Kay, they're going to have to do something.
Yep.
So we moved on to the main event of NXT tonight, and that was Tyler Bate versus Roderick Strong. Number one contender match. Winner would go on to face Pete Dunne for the UK Championship. They did not make mention when that would happen. My guess is probably going to be NXT TakeOver New Orleans. I would assume it would be around that date, just to build up that card to where it's going to be at when we get there. This is actually a good back and forth start to this match. The one thing I dislike, and I think my co-host here dislikes as well, is the long commercial break we got in this match, especially for a number one contenders match.
It was something I'd expect from SmackDown.
Yeah, and the commercial was long. Usually NXT commercials are like one commercial. They play two long commercials for this match, and I really didn't agree with that. And we're on the network. You can kind of cut that out, right? Like, you don't really need commercials in NXT on the network. I feel like that's just kind of wasted, and it took a lot away from this match. I think we could have just sat there and watched the entire match if we really wanted to. But we got a lot of classic Tyler Bate spots out of it after we came back from commercial break. We had an unreal backbreaker corner spot by Roderick Strong that looked freaking insane. Oh my god, that was probably, and it was done so quick. Like, Roderick Strong does these moves like lightning fast. And for a guy, like, he's not that small and he's not that big, he's like almost medium sized. For a guy to do it that fast is incredible. We had a big comeback at the end from Roderick Strong and hit that freaking unreal finisher. I meant to like listen in to see what they call it, and I totally forgot what they called it. So if anyone in the chat, let us know what it's called. And he pulls off the win, and now has a chance to become the first ever American to win the UK. He has a chance to be the first ever American to win the UK Championship. So that's huge for your boy Roderick Strong. That
was a really, really good match between two guys that have a lot of potential in NXT and the main roster if they were used properly, but highly doubt that. But and that's the thing, like, they're both in the cruiserweight match, so it's like, were these guys put in this match so that they can be showcased for 205 Live?
Maybe, but I'm liking a Roderick Strong and Pete Dunne match for the UK title.
Yeah,
that happens at TakeOver New Orleans. Holy shit!
As much as I would have loved to see Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne again, I want to see them both having matches against other people too, because I don't want to just limit them to facing each other all the time. I want to see what else they can do. And Roderick Strong's another really good wrestler, so I'm really interested to see his match with Pete Dunne as well. Obviously, the match with Tyler Bate tonight,
that was great.
It's kind of revitalizing for Roddy because he's kind of been on a losing streak lately. Mm-hmm. So it was good for him.
Yeah, definitely a big win. He really needed this win, and I'd love it. I don't know if they're going to build a feud off this or if they're just going to have the match. I'd love them to build some kind of feud here, like to get some storyline with this feud, because we haven't really seen any story of Tyler Bate or Pete Dunne. Like, all their matches in NXT literally just happened. There was no story building to it. So I'd love to see maybe a storyline for Pete Dunne and Roderick Strong, hopefully. Could happen.
Yeah, I mean, they could definitely do something off that. Roddy's shown some intensity lately, so I think Pete Dunne could bring out the best in him.
Mm-hmm. Quickly in the chat, we got Cuba Girl saying, I liked Gargano and Ciampa's feud. It's going to be like Matt and Jeff's feud was personal and brutal. Can we have Adam versus Nikki Adam Cole versus Nikki Cross? I feel like Nikki's going to attack Adam next week again. No, that's an interesting pick. I like Michael Chow's take here. He puts Lars Sullivan gets involved in the Adam Cole versus Killian Dane match and costs Killian the match to set up Lars Sullivan and Killian Dane. I like that.
Yes, because we haven't heard the response from Lars Sullivan to Killian Dane yet.
Mm-hmm. And Roderick Strong calls his finisher the Strong Breaker.
Mm-hmm. And we still haven't got the response from Lars Sullivan for Roderick Strong's challenge yet either. So
maybe I think they're canceling that.
I don't know what they're doing. I think they're just like
I think they're going to cancel that.
Hoping we forget about certain things.
Especially that.
I really hope they cancel. I don't want to see Roddy get squashed by Lars Sullivan.
I honestly think that they're going to make us forget about the Roderick Strong call. I think they're going to. That's why I kind of like Michael Chow's idea of Lars Sullivan coming out and costing Killian Dane the match. Yeah. And starting that just to make sure we Roderick
Lars
Strong.
Sullivan versus Roderick Strong just does not get me excited at all.
Could you imagine if they start that Dane and Sullivan, but then whatever reason they have the UK match or the UK title match early, and then Lars Sullivan gets involved, and this becomes like a triple threat for no reason. A takeover between Dane, Sullivan, and
Strong.
Sounds
like something that Monday Night Raw wants to do. Takes a book out of their play, or takes a page out of their playbook.
Maybe they let Vince book one match for takeover.
Holy Christ! Yeah, let's just hope they forgot about it, please.
Oh God! Tiffany just got her notification. There you go. Yay! Maybe Spreaker's just being being asses. Anyways, yes. Very good main event. I'm liking the direction NXT is going so far. We'll have to see what happens next week. We got 2 announced matches for next week. Tag team title Sanity versus Undisputed Era. We got Adam Cole versus Killian Dane, and hopefully some other stuff added to the show next week.
It looks like the main events or like the main storylines will come back next week, obviously, since this week was the pre-show of TakeOver.
Yeah, but we have to act like it was next week.
Yeah, we'll just say it was the week after. Get well, anyway. Nigel McGuinness, who's already well.
Yeah, but he's already well, but get well, Nigel McGuinness. We saw you yesterday, but get well. It's that part of the show, guys, and that is the list of 10.
10. You know what? You know what happens? You know what's going to happen? You just made the list!
That's right. It's part of the show where myself and Corporate Cappy have our perfect 10 superstar or moment of the week, or our moment or superstar of the week that makes the list. And we'll start it off as always with Corporate Cappy.
Where do you start this week?
Oh God.
My list moment, I told you yesterday, is going to the entire production of SmackDown Live yesterday. What in the fuck was going on? From those stupid Rockstar thing going across the screen during Nakamura's entrance.
That was literally not needed.
To the prison bars during the Usos promo. To this random blackout during the Breezango entrance. And then we come back to the commentary team talking. And then it goes to a promo. And then it goes back to the ring. And then like 3 other times during the night we had like entrances being interrupted by random promos from matches that weren't even going on. Like it was just like the production of SmackDown yesterday was just completely all over the place and just terrible all around.
I think it was worse than anything they produced in the PG era. I think this was worse. This was literally worse. I was shocked that what we got this week wasn't actually produced in the PG era. Like literally it was probably the worst produced episode of SmackDown ever. Kevin Dunn, what the fuck are you doing, man? Literally, calm down. Calm down. What are you doing, man?
It was like they were trying to do PowerPoint presentations in the middle of like, you know when you do like the PowerPoint effects when you bring in like a title.
It was just useless. When the Usos are saying lock down, and you had the cell door closing. Really? Did you actually need to do that? They were actually cutting a really good promo, but that literally took everything away for it. And you already took away out of Nakamura's entrance already. You're calling him the artist known as Nakamura instead of the King of Strong Style. But now, when he does his Yao thing, it's his infamous thing he does in his entrance, you're going to put Rockstar across the screen? Like, are you fucking kidding? That is literally... Everything they did this week, you cannot continue it. It got shit all over by everybody on Twitter. I didn't see one single person, I've been talking to you marks out there too, not one single person say that they actually loved any of it. And that's saying something.
It was just like overproduced garbage. Like, they didn't need that. Like, I know WWE likes to produce certain things and, you know, be groundbreaking as far as their production goes, but like sometimes it's just too much. Like that was just completely not needed. Oh, it was just... I can't even put my head around what was going on, because it was literally just completely all over the place.
Yeah.
And so for that,
You know what? You just made the list.
It does. It makes the list.
They need to never do that again, because it takes a lot away from the show.
I've seen every person, Michael Chow. I've seen every person on Twitter saying, "Please don't do this ever again." So I really.
Oh
hope
yeah,
they don't.
what about like the Snapchat like promo things? That
Oh yeah, those.
nowadays?
A lot of people were saying like I thought I was watching SmackDown Live, not Snapchat Live, because literally I hate
Can
that.
They stop doing that?
I thought they were doing that for the Rumble. Now it looks like they're continuing it, where they have it's just a black screen and it shows the name of whoever's about to talk, then it shows them on their phone like this, you know, and doing a promo backstage. Like why is that needed? Why do that? Why can't you just do a normal promo? It's literally the stupidest thing and cheap. It just looks cheap. It looks cheaply produced. Like it just looks like garbage.
It does.
They need to stop that.
So yeah, that's my list moment of the week, is the production of SmackDown. Even Raw this week, but Raw, I kind of liked their new kind of setup, the way they were doing things.
The new graphics.
Like
I like that.
Yeah, like except for the wording across the screen before we see a promo of the person. It just ugh.
The one thing that they even made mention of, and they didn't really do this week on SmackDown, was this new top 10 thing that they got going, which I'm actually for. I like the idea that it's not just random matches being made, like we got like Samoa Joe versus Rhino. Like, why would that make any sense? We're actually going to have actual ranking matches. Like 4 is going to face 5 to see who goes up to 3. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to have ranked. That's how you climb up the ladder on SmackDown. You got to go through the rankings. I like that. I actually love that idea. And that we're not just going to get random matches, random people getting title shots for whatever reason, or people going to number 1 contenders matches for whatever reason, or people, like, you know what I mean? We're not going to have that randomness. SmackDown is going to stick to this ranking system. So
yeah, maybe you can bring guys up to relevancy that aren't right now. AKA
Ty Dillinger, because literally he got fucked in what we got at a SmackDown this week. They literally made they basically made no mention of him getting screwed by Sami Zayn. I think I tweeted it that when Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens were complaining about the Royal Rumble in Daniel Bryan's office, that would have been the perfect time for Ty Dillinger to walk in and say,
he just complained to Shane, and then he got a match with Corbin and got fucking buried.
There should have been made a triple threat match next week between Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Ty Dillinger. It's still you need to make him win, but Dillinger should have at least been there to be added to it, because it makes sense because of what you did at the Royal Rumble. Don't just do something at the Rumble and forget about it.
I would have liked him to intervene in that tag team match and like attack Sami Zayn, and that would have left Kevin Owens by himself, not just Zayn.
There you go.
Walking out.
Why didn't they do that? No.
Because I guess they don't want Ty Dillinger being relevant.
Because the main focus this week was the overly produced garbage they called television this week on SmackDown Live. Yes.
Well, and the last thing I'm going to say about the top 10 thing is, obviously, if you want to climb the ladder, obviously Sin Cara has got to be number 1 on that top 10 list, because
I have to agree with my co-host, man. Sin Cara is number 1. I think he'll be a number 1 in that top 10 list for a very long time. I don't see Sin Cara dropping down from that.
Unless you beat him, and then he's just going to, he's go down to 2, and then the guy at 3 beats him, and so on and so forth. So what's your list moment of the week?
My list moment of the weekend is a hot topic right now, because there's a lot of women out there, a.k.a. the women wrestlers, that are really sour about it, but no offense to you women out there. I'm not trying to be that person. Okay, relax. Don't freaking jump down my throat. But you know how you women get when a new person comes through the dressing room or comes into the circle. Y'all get defensive, and guys do it too. I'm not saying it's just women, but whoever, like, whenever the new person comes around, you're always like, "Ow, this girl,
ow."
And the whole thing now, my list moment this week has nothing to do with that, but it's kind of the same story. It's why they didn't have Ronda Rousey on Raw this week. You came out after she made her debut at the Rumble, and you made big headlines. You made sure it was everywhere that she signed, and you bolded it, full-time contract. Yet you didn't have her on Raw the next night. I know she has to film a movie, but why wasn't it's one night. It's 24 hours. You could have still had her on Raw to cut a promo or something, but they literally didn't have her on TV.
The fine print. You didn't read the fine print. It was Brock Lesnar full-time.
Oh, contract. Brock Lesnar full-time. That's my mistake. My mistake. My bad. This is on me. This is on me.
KR Truth.
To me, they didn't really capitalize on it. They barely made mention of it. I think it was maybe a way to keep the locker room calm down because you had Nikki Bella come out like she fucking needs a voice with something, and you had Nia Jax complain about it. Then they interviewed Sasha, and she didn't really say anything, but you could hear in the tone of her voice that she's not happy about it. I think these girls need to calm the fuck down. All right, like I don't think a lot of people, even a lot of people out there that are kind of like. They already jumped down Ronda's throat already without even reading into it. Ronda's been training for the WWE for over a year now. It's not like she's coming in here rusty and just thinking that she's going to take every single spotlight. This girl's literally been working her ass to the bone to get her craft right in the ring, transitioning from UFC to the WWE. I think she's going to be good. I'm actually excited for Ronda Rousey to be in the WWE. I think she's going to bring a lot of dominance to this division, and I wouldn't doubt if you built her as a dominant person. I would. You look at what her background is in the UFC and how much of a badass she was, I'd continue with that. That's good. You need someone. Asuka's just not going to be able to run through everybody and have no one in the face. Ronda Rousey is a perfect later on opponent to face. Like I'm talking after WrestleMania, not now. After WrestleMania, go like down the line, maybe like a SummerSlam match. You build it on Ronda Rousey and Asuka, two badasses. Undefeated, maybe in the WWE, facing each other at SummerSlam. There you go. Sell, smack. You just sold SummerSlam right there. So, but for the women complaining about it right now and being extra sour and them not really and WWE not capitalizing on this Ronda thing on Raw.
You know what? You just made the list.
It makes the list. I'm sorry. That's just my opinion. You guys can agree with me. You cannot agree with me. I don't care. That's just my opinion about it.
I could literally go with a good or a bad here again because I don't know.
Hey, you can have two list moments. You can have two perfect 10 moments, and it is what it is. If Derby is always bad sometimes throughout a week where you have to give two list moments.
I don't know. There were some good things that I liked this week though, so I'm gonna give. I'll say an honorable mention list moment to John Cena burying Finn Balor.
Yes. 100%.
That was fucking. What the hell was the point of that?
And I read that the reason why we didn't get Undertaker and John Cena, I guess the possible reason, so a grain of salt again, take it, is because they're planning only a 4-week build for these guys. So Elimination Chamber is probably where we're going to get the first sign of Taker and Cena going into each other.
So you want to put build. Cena? You want? I mean, whatever. I guess Cena's been able to do small builds before, so you know. All the power to him, but if you're gonna have Cena go in the Elimination Chamber, why did he have to beat Finn Balor? Why couldn't it be somebody else? Because I think Balor deserves to be in that match, but you know,
could have been Jason Jordan. You could have fucking him begging to Kurt Angle to be in a match and be in the chamber, but he's like, fine, you're gonna have to beat John Cena for it. I'm talking serious here, not just talking because I think he's a goon. This is serious. He should have faced Jason Jordan, and then it would have been a way to try to prove to his dad that
I agree.
And then you could add Seth Rollins playing to this too. Be like, what are you doing, man? We're tag team champions. You have to, or we were tag team champions. Like, we have to get our belts back. What are you doing already? Like going towards a title shot. You know what I mean? They could have done something here.
Yeah. And especially because they didn't even like. Why did Finn Balor have to be the pawn in all this? I feel like that was completely unfair. So that's honorable mention for list moment. My 10 moment this week. I'm gonna give it to the Asuka and Sasha Banks match on Raw. I really liked that match.
Yes,
I thought that match should have been the main event. Especially after we didn't really get anything significant in the Cena Balor match. It wasn't like anybody came out or anything. So I really think Asuka and Sasha could have been main event because that was a really good match. And at points, I thought Sasha was actually going to win biasly, but You know, she had a good showing against Asuka, gave Asuka her best test yet. I'm pretty sure they had 2 commercial breaks during the match. So it was a really good long match. I mean, Sasha took some brutal
And I know, and again, like you just said, I know WWE doesn't want to say it because they want to sway away from it, but there was a very, very strong style type of match.
Yeah, I mean, did you see the shots Asuka was giving Sasha there when she was like giving her the backward elbows and shit? And that spot Sasha took on the outside with that suicide dive, I never want to see her doing that again. Because like I literally cringe when I saw I'm like she's gonna paralyze herself. Like I love her to death and I love her taking risks, but God, just stop with that.
Yeah, just do what you did the Rumble with Lita, man. That's way more safer. That you won't get hurt doing that.
Oh my God! But both these girls put on a great showing. Sasha putting her body on the line like always, and Asuka coming out with the win with the Asuka lock. I think this is the first time Sasha's tapped. By the way, I mean she makes everybody else tap, so I guess it was her time to get tapped out. So
yeah, I can't really remember her tap because she really hasn't faced anyone with a submission. I don't remember the Charlotte feud ever ending in a submission without Charlotte tapping.
And I mean, it seemed that promo she cut beforehand seemed really bossish, and like it feels like she's getting this new like aggression. Even we saw it at the Rumble where she eliminated Bayley, eliminated Trish, broken heart.
I think this is what I was going to. What I was saying. This is going to build her back into the boss, and then Bayley's going to come in, and there you go. Clash of a feud.
And I think those two, just like Gargano and Ciampa, could have a match at Mania without a title being on the line if they're going to do Asuka and whoever the Raw Women's Champion is. But I really think I'm liking this new direction they're bringing Sasha, and I think she really needs it. And I think it was a really good match. So for Asuka and Sasha putting on a great performance this week, they get my perfect
10.
That's right. Glorious Greg says it right for you here. How about Trish in that Rumble? Still looks good.
Oh, good thing I'm wearing dark pants. Or when she did the Sasha ass shake thing.
Oh yeah.
Done. That's it.
Tiffany saying, "Where's Peyton and Billy?" Don't know. If they weren't going to call them up, I don't know what the hell's going on with Peyton and Billy. We're going to have to see what happens. Like literally, that's actually interesting. We'll get into that a little later because I remember there's actually a Twitter question about that. Cuba Girl puts, so Sasha heel now? Are we finally going to get the heel Sasha? I really hope so. Michael Chow puts that suicide dive. Gosh, damn. Major mad props to Sasha.
Yeah, but again, she shouldn't be doing that type of stuff, man. That's way too risky.
Absolutely not.
So, what's
I got a
moment?
perfect 10 moment. I was going to have two
I
lists.
thought you were going to give...
I was going to have two lists moments, but I actually just thought of something that I actually loved. And
did you not? You didn't want to give it to Kane for like the 7th?
No, this is actually getting a perfect 10 because it's going to Braun Strowman for possibly sending Kane off TV for good. This is what this perfect 10 moment was good. Thank you, Strowman. Thank you. If you can see this in the video version of the podcast, guys, I'm praying right now. Thank you, Strowman, for doing what I've been wanting to happen to Kane. It looks like he's going to be gone for good because how the hell do you come back from what he did? He literally flipped the fucking stage on top of Kane this week in their last man standing. It's so weird how an Elimination Chamber qualifying match was a last man standing match. You never see qualifying matches actually having stipulations. I think that's probably like the first time ever that's ever happened. I don't remember a qualifying match ever having a stipulation. But last man standing, that's a way to win the last man standing, that's for sure. They didn't even count to 10. They just called it off. They're like, yeah, this guy's dead. We're calling this match off. And thank you, Braun Strowman, because now it looks like Kane's finally going to be off television. I read a report today that he's going to be going back to his mayor stuff because next month he's going to be doing a electoral mayor party, and he's actually going to have The Undertaker there, and they're doing like a live Talk is Jericho podcast, which is cool. So thank God. Kane, you don't really need to be on fucking TV. So for Braun Strowman figuratively killing Kane this week on Monday Night Raw, it gets my perfect
10.
That's right.
Oh, come on. Where's the love for Glenn Jacobs, man?
No, he doesn't need to be on TV. It's done. He's gone.
Well, I mean, if he's
Bye-bye,
going to
Kane.
leave... We heard reports this week, I know you're happy about it, that apparently Big Show has been training for his return.
Yes, unfortunately, I read that Big Show is teasing his WWE return. He's posting pictures of himself in the gym, looking more trimmed and more jacked. And Big Show, you can get as thin and trimmed as possible, but for you to be on fucking TV still there's no sense about it. It's literally, I don't have a cookie jar here, but I'm gonna get a cookie jar for our video podcast. And it's WWE reaching into the cookie jar and seeing whatever they can pull out to put in front of young talent that needs to be on TV. It's like, oh, Finn Balor, nope, we're gonna put Big Show in front of you.
It's like they have to at least have Kane or Big Show on TV. Like they have to have at least one of them on TV.
Yeah. Oh, Michael Chow. The women's elimination chamber that they barely announced. They had Stephanie McMahon come out during Asuka's start of Raw, and she's like, basically like she announced it, but it wasn't something big like the women's Royal Rumble. They made a big deal about the women's Royal Rumble. It's like, wouldn't the first ever women's elimination chamber be that much more bigger? Like, it's something that's like, you wouldn't have ever put women in the women's division in the elimination chamber, but they kind of just said, oh, by the way, there's going to be a women's elimination chamber match, and we're going to have qualifying matches. Yep, that's it. We're going to move on from that, and then just kind of talk about something else.
Again, I'm sorry, but call me sexist, whatever you want, but women don't need to be in an elimination chamber. They don't need to fucking be in it. What do they need to be in an elimination chamber for?
Why do they got to rush?
What is the point?
Why do they got to rush it all? Why do they got to rush everything for women's first ever? Why can't they wait? Why can't we wait like 5 years from now and then do it? Why do you have to put everything in like the same year?
Like, you know me, I'm a big supporter of the girls. I want them to be as good as the guys, but there are some matches that they just don't need to be in. Like Hell in a Cell, they didn't need to be in. The Elimination Chamber, they don't need to be in. Like, what are we gonna see women like bleed? Yeah. Like, come on, they're not gonna see that. And can I also say that what was the point of, or can I have justice for Alexa Bliss? Because she has to defend her title in an Elimination Chamber, but Brock Lesnar doesn't.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Makes sense, right?
So but Brock Lesnar, the men's is just for the number one contendership, but the women's is for the belt. Makes sense.
Yeah. Way to go, WWE. That's gonna get an honorary or honor. My honorary. Can't even talk today.
Honorary mention.
Yes, for list moment of the week. Thank you, Cobra Cappy. I can't talk today. Cuba Girl, why? Because of Jeremy Borash signing. I've read today, Cuba Girl, that he's being sent to NXT to work with NXT, which is good. I can see a lot of Jeremy Borash in NXT. Michael Chow puts Ronda versus Big Show at WrestleMania, capitalizing on the Mayweather versus Big Show magic. Fuck. Oh, please no. That'd be the biggest. I literally would have to like sit on the toilet after my bathroom break and wait for that shit to happen, man. Like, I have to force myself to go to the bathroom if that was ever a match at WrestleMania.
Speaking of Braun Strowman, can I just quickly say that I'm loving this Braun Strowman Alexa Bliss thing. It's great. Like, they had the mixed match challenge match last week. Like, she stood, or last night, I'm talking like more Ronaldo here in NXT. She stood on his shoulders and did the twisted bliss off his shoulders, and they cut that promo after, which was like kind of sexual innuendo, but it wasn't. But I'm loving this whole Beauty and the Beast team. Like, I really like it a lot. I wouldn't be shocked if they end up doing a storyline with it. But
Beauty
again,
team.
I can really get behind Braun and Alexa. I think it's really cute.
Yeah, she's cute.
She's cute, all right. Anyways,
we got fan tweets. Fan tweets this week. I'm gonna get right into them once I open up here. Thank you all for tweeting into the show. And guys, you want to tweet into the show at No Holds Barred at WP is where you do that. You look out for the tweet I sent out, and you tweet at us during the show, during NXT. Tweet us your thoughts and your questions, and I read them right here on the air. Speaking
of people that listen to the podcast, you want to quickly address the Spreaker situation?
We saw that the Rumble predictions?
Yeah.
Has 0 plays, but it had like 16 downloads. I guess people are just downloading the episodes and listening to them. Which, I mean, it's all right. I mean, you don't want to have to sit there with the Spreaker app open. Maybe you want to download it, and that way you can listen to it offline. Kind of see what you're trying to do there. I found it weird that there was no plays but 16 downloads. I'm like, oh.
You know the account's free, right? People out there, our silent anonymous listeners out there, not the.
It's free. Just make an account. You can chat with us. You don't have to say a word. I mean, it'd be nice if you chat with us. You know, you don't have to say anything. You're behind a keyboard. Anyways, let's get into the tweets. CupidGirl125 puts, do you guys think that the women should have a tournament to see who will go up against Ember Moon at the next TakeOver? I think it would be a really good way to showcase all the Mae Young Classic women again on NXT, especially Candice LeRae.
That's kind of like what you were saying earlier about the women maybe being showcased more.
Because they need something, because right now it's like they don't show Billie Kay or Payne Royce, We got basically our champion with one arm. We got Shayna Baszler not giving a fuck and killing everybody. We have Lacey Evans being as bland as possible. Nikki Cross, I don't know what the fuck Nikki Cross is going to do next. So you don't know how she's going to pop out of. And that's it. You really don't showcase anybody else. So, like, you need something here. I don't know how you determine the next number one contender. I don't know if they're going to have a rematch between Baszler. I don't see that ending. I think Moon and Baszler are going to have a rematch. Maybe they add Kairi Sane to it, because now we've seen Kairi Sane from the Royal Rumble that she was in. I forgot to mention that. Kairi Sane was in the Women's Royal Rumble. Now she's back. So maybe we see her get added to it. And maybe make it triple threat. We see a fatal four-way. I think it's going to be a multi-woman match at TakeOver. That's what I'm guessing.
Yep.
I'd love to see a tournament, something. We need more showcase of women on NXT. So hopefully we get that in the next coming months. Next tweet by CupidGirl125. She puts, also, where the hell is Iconic Duo? Someone better get the milk carton.
Yep.
Yeah, where are they? I've read no reports of them being injured or what. I don't know where the hell they are.
Maybe Peyton Royce is getting her boyfriend's treatment there, getting buried. It's like Ty Dillinger.
Yeah. Right.
Not being used on the show.
Sad.
We really thought she was going to debut in the Rumble, because they were like, okay, she's been off TV for a month. That's usually
it would have
when
made
they
sense.
call
It
the
looked like
Rumble.
it was going to happen. I guess not. CupidGirl125 puts, and finally, is Lars ever going to get his match against Killian, or will they put him into a feud with someone else? I know it's risky, but I choose Ricochet. Oof. Lars and Ricochet. I'm not sure about that. I want to see
squashed, maybe.
I really want to see Lars and Killian go at it. I really want to see this before it sways away. I don't want it to sway away. I really want these two to just go absolutely nuts on each other. So I'm hoping to see that first. So thank you, Cooper Girl, for your thoughts and questions as always. We got Michael Chow and Michael Chow TV, guys. He has his own wrestling podcast. If you like ours, you'll like his. He reviews Raw and SmackDown every single week. He does reviews and predictions as well. Go check him out. He's also on Spreaker, and give him a follow on Twitter at Michael Chow TV. He puts, if you could take any 3 women out of the Royal Rumble and replace them with any 3 women from NXT who were not in it, who would it be?
Good question. Okay, Vicky Guerrero, number 1. Replace her with Billy Kay, or Peyton Royce, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Dana Brooke added nothing to the match. Take Dana Brooke out and put Victoria in the match, because I think Victoria deserved to be in that match with the other
someone from
old
NXT.
girls that were in it. Oh, from NXT.
Yeah.
Okay. Shayna Baszler.
Mm-hmm. And the third.
And Kairi Sane was in it. So, I don't know. Yeah, Nikki Cross, for sure. I think Nikki Cross would have looked good in that match.
So
that's her type of match.
You literally had the same replacements as Michael Chow. He replaced Vicky with Peyton Royce, Kelly with Shayna Baszler, and Lana with Nikki Cross.
That's probably literally what I would have done.
Yeah.
Kelly, fuck off my television. And who was the other one?
Lana.
Yeah, 100%. Didn't need to be in there.
I would have replaced Trish Stratus with... no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. On the teaser
wow.
over there.
Wow, you had I mean, I'm corporate all the time, so it's time you got me back once in a while.
100%, I would have replaced Vicky Guerrero. I was, if you guys don't know, I was literally pissed off when that happened during that entire thing. I would replace Vicky Guerrero with Peyton Royce 100%. Just thinking about it, yeah, I would have replaced Lana. Though I have my thoughts about Lana, I would have replaced her with Nikki Cross. I think Nikki Cross should have had at least a showing. I think there would have been, they could have done something with that. And yeah, Shayna Baszler. I picked Shayna Baszler too. I probably would have had her instead of I don't know, Tamina. There you go. Because Tamina, as big as she wasn't as dominant as she should have been. So take Tamina out there and put Shayna Baszler.
What? No love for Tamina, man. Come on.
Why do I need love for Tamina? What did she do? What did she do?
By the way, what the hell was she wearing this week?
I don't even know what the fuck she was wearing. I don't want to ask anything about it. Anyways, next thing by Michael Chow. Thoughts on Tyler Bate and Roderick Strong being confirmed for the Cruiserweight tournament? Anyone else from NXT you'd like to see in that tournament? Leo Rush. Would love to see that guy in that tournament. I think he'd be perfect for 205 Live. 100%. That's already my case.
I don't think they'd put Ricochet in it yet because he hasn't even debuted on NXT yet.
I think Leo Rush. for sure. He just seems like he'd be perfect for 205 Live. He's got the size. He's definitely got the speed. He's probably faster than anybody on 205 Live. So I'd love to see him in that tournament.
I'm gonna say Otis Dozovich.
Oh, perfect cruiserweight, Otis Dozovich. Yeah, he's very agile. I like that pick.
Is my boy Tito Sabatelli under 205?
I mean,
Probably
Goldust's in 205 Live, so it doesn't matter.
I mean, Tito's got a lot of muscles, so he's probably over 205. But yeah, I don't know. I'd probably say Leo Rush too. I can't think of anyone else right now that's actually, on the roster. Maybe. Yeah. Well, what about Gargano?
Oh, Gargano would be sick, but I think they're gonna.
I think that's a demotion for him.
If they do it, they'd have to do something with Ciampa interfering. Maybe get some eyes on 205 Live.
Tyler Bate and Roderick Strong are both in two different storylines at once somehow.
Yeah. He puts side question. Do you think Neville might make a surprise return at some point in this tournament?
Yes, I was saying that to you last night. I said maybe Neville should return in this because that would be great. Because now that the cancer is gone, maybe
it just looks like they're gonna focus more on NXT now. Like it looks, NXT on 205 Live because now they have Rockstar Spud as the GM, the announced GM, which is a complete shock. I literally thought it was going to be Christian.
It's good. It has some direction finally, and and we kind of had throwback to the Cruiserweight Classic this week with the type of promos they were showing. So I like the direction that they're going with it.
I was telling this to Cappy. I'm like, God, if 205 Live starts to get better, we might consider reviewing it because when it first came in, I was literally a huge supporter of 205 Live. I really wanted it to flourish. I made my points that they should have made it on Full Sail University, and then it just kind of died, and then they added Enzo, and then it really died. But now that they got rid of Enzo, it looks like they're kind of sparking it up a bit more. They're getting more eyes on it. So I think it was a really, really good idea to get Rockstar Spud because there's a lot of people out there that know who he is, and now that he's the GM of 205 Live and they have like a GM direction, I think it's going to get more eyes on 205 Live.
I agree with what Cupid Girl said. Go off your point there. It's like a reset for 205 Live. Like it's like a breath of fresh air again. My only worry is when they go to those freaking garbage towns like Des Moines, Iowa, and in the middle of Hickville, nowhere. Yeah. That they're just gonna hear crickets, and that's what's gonna suck. Because Philly actually had a good crowd this week for 205 Live.
It sucks, man. These people on the 205 Live roster deserve better than performing in a half-empty arena. They really, really deserve better than that. Like the talent that these guys have, it's a shame, literally. And they get demoted to pre-shows all the time. Like they need to focus. They need to give more focus on 205 Live, man. They don't get enough. They get the back end of everything.
Especially with now that they have some direction with the GM and Cringe Moray being gone. I think it's a new day for 205 Live. Or I think Drew Gulak has finally succeeded in a better 205 Live.
All right. Michael Chow, last question, puts, who was your favorite NXT superstar that took part in the Royal Rumble out of Cien Almas, Adam Cole, Kairi Sane, and Ember Moon? Mine was Cien Almas. Not NXT. No NXT champ has ever appeared in the Royal Rumble before. I marked out big time seeing him in Selena Vegas. # making a difference. We did too, Michael Chow. We were shocked that he was in it. We're like, out of anyone getting called up, like Cien Almas getting in the Royal Rumble, yeah, I'd have to be picking Adam Cole though. Because of what he went through in that NXT Extreme Rules match. I was shocked he was walking on Sunday. I can't believe they made him be in that and last kind of that long. He lasted like 6 minutes. That's longer than I thought he was going to. He was all bandaged up and he was hurt the whole time. I was really shocked they added Adam Cole into that.
I'm gonna say Ember Moon because going off what Adam Cole said, there's no, or what you said about Adam Cole. There's no way she should have been able to be in that match after the beating she took of Shayna Baszler, basically, with, like you said, the one-armed champion debuting at Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
But for me, that was shocking because I thought there was no way she was even going to be able to compete for the next couple weeks, even after on NXT tapings. But yeah.
So we'll get into our last tweets, and that comes from our Twitter fan of the year for the year 2017. That's right. It goes to a glorious Greg, and he won our 2017 Fan of the Year, and he gets his own theme song played right before we read his tweets. And guys, you want to have your own theme song? All you got to do is win our 2018 Twitter Fan of the Year, and all you have to do is interact with us on Twitter at NoHoldsBarredWP. We'll also include you if you interact us with on the Spreaker chat on Spreaker.com/NHBWP. As soon as you interact with us, you are automatically entered for the 2018 Fan of the Year. And then we're going next week on the Lowdown Show. We're going to be doing our Twitter Fan of the Month for January, the returning award of Twitter Fan of the Month. We'll think of something special for that. And I can't. Why wouldn't it stop? I don't know why it wouldn't stop playing your theme song, Glorious Greg. I'm sorry there. It wouldn't let me click stop. So I apologize if that was playing while I was talking there. But
Glorious Greg told me, side note, that he wants his theme changed to Next Generation of Great. Jason.
I'm going to believe it when it comes out of his mouth. So I will not take your word for it, unfortunately. If he says it, then I'll believe it.
He did not say that. I'm just kind of being a troll again.
Okay, so, all right. Glorious Greg's tweets, Gilly, at Greg the Gamer _ on Twitter. He puts, I really enjoyed TM61 match. How far do you guys see TM61 going in the NXT Tag Team division? I eventually see them getting a tag team title match one day. I think these guys are just, especially now that they look way better than ever now, I think these guys are going to skyrocket up the tag team division. I think without losing focus on Sanity and Undisputed Era, I think maybe eventually they probably win a tournament or some sort, or they win a number one contenders match. I can see TM61 getting one.
I kind of see these guys being the underdog team like Gargano and Ciampa, where they defy the odds against the bigger teams and actually get some wins, because I'm really invested in these guys now after the whole promos they've shown over the last couple of weeks and their match tonight against the Ely brothers. I'm actually really excited for TM61 now. Like I think that they could be the next Gargano and Ciampa, maybe the underdog tag team champions.
They looked very good this week, very good. So we'll see what happens with them. So we hope they skyrocket up that tag team ladder. He also puts, what a main event match between Strong and Bate. I honestly look forward to more Tyler Bate matches down the road. He's incredible. The guy is 20 years old. 20 years old. And he's doing what he's doing right now in the matches he's had already in the last year. He's won the UK tournament, or he's won the UK tournament and won the UK first ever UK title for WWE. He's had 3 unbelievable matches with Pete Dunne, and now he had that amazing match with TJP this week on 205 Live, and now this match with Roderick Strong. There's no ceiling. There's no ending ceiling for Tyler Bate, man. The guy is just going to go up from here, man. The future is looking huge for Tyler Bate, man. I don't think they should ever let this kid go.
I think him and Pete Dunne, as much as I hate to say it for my boy William Regal never becoming and it probably will never happen now, becoming the first ever UK world champion, I think Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne will probably both win a world title at some point in WWE. I don't know which one will be the first, but I think those two are really the next generation, not of great, but definitely of
pun intended there
style wrestling. Yes. But I think one of those two guys has the potential to be a world champion one day, or the first ever. What I'm trying to say here, UK world champion.
UK world champion, yeah.
Yes.
And he also puts, can I just say, Nikki Cross? My God.
Yeah, she's a crazy, kind of sexy in a way.
Yeah, Michael Chow actually put a picture of Nikki Storm from the Indies in here, and she looked really great as Nikki Storm. My God, look at that picture. I'll have to send that to you after.
Yeah, but, our boy Tyler Jones is in love with Nikki Cross, so you better take it easy, Greg. You're going to have to compete with him.
But those are the tweets. Thank you very, very much, ladies and gentlemen, as you are awesome out there. We can never do this without you fans out there. Thank you for tweeting every week and staying with us with the Lowdown Show and checking out our review of NXT TakeOver Philly and Royal Rumble. If you haven't, they are live on the channel right now on YouTube. They are separated in 2, or on Spreaker, iTunes, and Stitcher. They are together in one podcast. It looks like it's getting a lot of traction on Spreaker especially, so we appreciate all the traction you guys are giving us on Spreaker. We appreciate the love for No Holds Barred podcasts, and
those the voice of the voiceless out there, the ones that the silent listeners of the podcast. We appreciate you too.
Yeah, we do appreciate you too. Appreciate everybody. And we are 67 days away from WrestleMania, and about, I think that means 62 days before we are officially on the road to New Orleans. We got a lot of stuff planned for that, ladies and gentlemen. We have vlogs. We're going to have live podcasts down in New Orleans as the house we're staying at has internet. Thank God. We have figured out that we're going to attend Access on it starts Thursday. But we're going to do it the Friday, I believe, Friday night. Saturday or Friday during the day, we're going to be doing WrestleCon. So there'll be some footage about that. WrestleCon's going to be huge. We're going to go meet our boy D'Lo Brown, basically the source for the Lowdown Show's theme, and we're going to try to get him to plug our show. If not, then I just want to meet the guy too. Just tell him like he's an inspiration for our podcast. And we're going to meet some other wrestlers too. It looks like they just added Corporate Cappy's girl Trish Stratus to it, so we're obviously going to WrestleCon no matter what. So it looks like it's going to be a really interesting weekend that weekend. So a lot of stuff planned for WrestleMania.
I mean, the only person I'm meeting is James Ellsworth, so that's about it.
Really? Over Trish Stratus? No Trish.
Well, I mean, I'm already going to be seeing her in Niagara Falls.
Yeah, meet her twice. Maybe she'll remember you.
Good point. But Ellsworth first. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, Ellsworth first.
But I will
You're
meet
gonna
James Ellsworth.
You're going to kick down the door and then like scurry around looking for this guy.
That'd be a funny video.
You're kicking a little girl in the face just to see this guy.
Yeah, do the Kinshasa like that. Kinshasa! To her
Oh, that was
brother on
great.
that video.
I saw a video going around Twitter of this 4-year-old girl giving her 3-year-old brother a Kinshasa right in front of their parents, and their parents freaking out after.
Yeah,
And it was done so well, man. She looks like she's going to be a good wrestler.
Right,
yeah, that was spot of the week. But thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to be it. I'm not sure podcast-wise what's going on this weekend. Maybe I'll do a surprise tournament on Twitch. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But stay tuned. Just follow us on Twitter and follow our updates on there. But
we're definitely not doing a Sunday Night Heat this week. Or sorry, I keep calling it the Sunday Night Heat. WWE headlines.
Yes. Well, I might.
Well, your New England Patriots are playing the Super Bowl this week.
Yeah, I might get it. I might get it done Saturday night though. I might. If I do a headlines, guys, will be posted Sunday morning, and I'll record it Saturday night. So if there is one, look out for that. I might even do it live Saturday night. We'll see what happens with that. But that is going to wrap it up for the Lowdown Show. Episode number 88. We're at 88, almost at 100 for the Lowdown Show. Right here on No Holds Barred Wrestling Podcast. Your Canadian wrestling podcast that talks about the WWE and NXT and No Holds Barred on anything we say, or No Holds Bared. But pun intended. You can follow the podcast on Twitter, like I said before, No Holds Barred WP. Follow myself at Real Kyle Masters. Follow my co-host at Corporate Cappy. You can follow us on Instagram, No Holds Barred WP, all one word as well. You can listen to us on the go on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and Spreaker. Spreaker is a glorious podcast app that's available for all Android and Apple devices, so go give that a download and follow us on there, and make sure you go over to our YouTube page as well, youtube.com/NHBWR. Hit that subscribe button, that bell icon for all upload updates. You can find 2K content, unboxings, and other video versions of the podcast are all posted on there as well, so a follow would help. I am your host, the self-proclaimed greatest host, Kyle Masters, and every week on the Lowdown Show, I continue to be joined by my co-host. He is the blissful boss, the next generation of great, I guess, Mr. Corporate himself, Corporate Cappy.
And always for a better 205 Live.
Always. Hope that is 100% right. So we're always here for a better 205 Live, and we're always here reminding you to keep it on the Lowdown.
We're back to back, and your ass is dead meat. Victory is sweet. Bring it on. Here's a receipt. Bring it on. What you gonna do about it? Bring it on. Is that what you got? Bring it on. So what you gonna do about it? Bring it on. Gonna kick your sorry ass, but what you gonna do?